right. Yep, that's still screaming hot. Hey, how's it going? Trying to prepare glasses so I can focus on this. And since they don't transition, I can't see the computer now. Can't win for losing. So either I have double transitions or I can see what I'm doing here in detail. Well, not good in the grand scheme of the planet. I got a $12,000 bill that I'm facing. AC system went out, and apparently it's been out for a couple months, and the cost versus full replacement's not worth the repairs. So we're going to have to end up getting a whole new system for inside and out. This one, I thought things were going good, but that's the fun of owning a house. You never know when something's going to act dumb or fall apart or break. I'm going to try to work on this, but it's not going to be a full teardown because I don't want to damage the paint, especially with the fact that it still says handyman on it. So it'll be fun trying to work on it and work around everything without damaging the paint, because that's the original blue paint. It still says Stanley handyman in there, but got a lot of crust on it. I remember what I did with stuff. Hey, how's it going? Get the Ingrid mosquito going. Not sure if I got rid of the how do I put this nice? It's not what I can't use the words I normally would. Let's just call it a yellow jacket. I guess that's the nicest way to put it. That's not what I call them, but I've been stuck in the shop for a while. But I think I finally got them out the door. This could be a very slow, tedious process because I don't want to accidentally snag any of this wood, because that wood is the original handle with the original paint. Then I got to be real careful because I don't want to accidentally knock off the red paint. So kind of that, yeah. Got a little gap in it. I think I'm going to try to find something to shim in there to keep the ring away from the handle. If I can do that, Oh, that's so close, but not quite. Because if I could shim it, it'll keep it down. Then I don't have to worry about hitting that red paint. Hmm. We'll use cardboard as a shim. See if that'll wedge in. Yes, it will. Make a little horseshoe. Going that way. And we'll see if it works. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Oh, very cool. I still like my old, is it Crescent brand? Because I know a lot of people call all adjustables Crescents. But if it's one of the older Crescents, that's cool. There we go. Wood shim, gapped it so I could try to avoid the ring and the red paint. That's cool because I think I only have one Crescent that's actually old. And I hate to say it, but anything prior to anything after 1980, I don't consider anything prior to 1980 is old. After 1980, that's new. That doesn't count. I had no plan of attack on this. I just kind of decided last minute to try to clean this. The good thing is the temperature dropped because a couple days ago, so Wednesday we were at 88. Yeah, that is the nice thing of having a junky desk. You can fabricate with the crud you didn't take off of it. So Wednesday we had 88 degrees. Got up Thursday morning at 70 degrees, and then the temperature steadily dropped. Around 10:30, we got rain that turned to sleet, that turned to snow, and then the ground got covered. So dropped down from 88, dropped down to about 32, according to my work truck. But by the after that happened, I would say the last 2 hours of my shift, and then me driving home, the temperature warmed back up to around 44, so almost everything started melting again. And I was happy because I was like, okay, we got our cool temperatures back. I'm good with that. Oh yeah, no, they're talking possibly 90 degrees next week. My mom saying that Arizona is looking at 100 already. 100. I'm like, yeah, nope, you can keep that mess. I could not imagine wearing the work clothes that I have to wear down there, having the fire resistant clothing, pants, long sleeve shirt, and all that mess. To me, that would be crazy. I'd have heat stroke probably 5 minutes into my shift. Oh, don't you dare do that. And all day today, we've had extremely high winds. A lot of tree limbs, debris flying around. I have never done anything like this one. So I'm just doing what I do best. Play it by ear and fly by the seat of my pants. Hope for the best. I know I fussed about this silly little thing when I first got it. It's grown on me. I've gotten used to it, and already it's making a world of difference. You can report me all you want. They're going to say the same thing. Yeah, right. Oh, come on. This is whatever company overseas that makes these little the discs. I think they need to make like this with these plastic spines, so we can go in on this angle and get into the little tiny details. I think that would work out really good. Because they're a lot more stable. These plastic discs are a lot more stable than little wire bristles because they want to bend out and then they'll snag and grab wood. But I may have to gamble on that. Oh, I accidentally got too close. I saw just a little something fly off. That was dark. So I may have caught the inside edge of the wood. Even though this little Dremel, I don't remember what model it is, might be underpowered. And if you bind it up a little bit, it will stop and shut itself down. It's got like a thermal detection in it. So when there's too much torque on it, it doesn't over heat up and cook out the motor. Oh, here it is. The Dremel 2050, but I know it had some. Oh, here we go. So that's what they call it, the 2050. Well, I know on the box they had some name like Inspire or something like that. But yep. Sorry, scrolls took off. They went on break. Hopefully they come back. I don't know where that train was heading, but missed the station and it wrecked. Oh, I don't need that no more. Okay. I would say up in that handle piece, I'd say that's close enough. Might try to get it with a little polish in there, but definitely beats the rusty crusty that it was. I haven't thought about putting them in there to see whether the RPMs are good, or even on the smaller 12 volt, see if the RPMs would be good to run with them. May have to try that sometime. But trying to do this little detail work with this thing, yeah, that wouldn't work too well. So just trying to think it. I want to do the outer rings, try to tidy that up. I think I'm just going to go light on this, but I'm going to have to carefully clean some of the gunk and grime off this and hopefully not wipe out that sticker, because I really don't want that sticker damaged. I've seen Stanley handyman stuff all over the place, usually overpriced, but I've never seen one that actually still had the sticker on it. And I need years of doing models and painting models. Got to get the little tiny fingerprints off these so I can see. We have Munchkin for the next couple days. And she has a penchant for grabbing my glasses, but when she does, she grabs the fingers all over the lenses, I should have said. That's why I was trying that other pair. That's better. I can see there, and I can see here. What I think would be great? Oh, crud. They make big ones. Is it Burnout's Garage? I think that's who was it? Burnout's Garage, I think it was. He's got one that on a bench grinder. So I'm definitely gonna have to get definitely gonna have to get one of those and see how well one of those on a bench grinder, how well those work and how long they last. Because for some of the metals, it would clean up so much better. Nope. I ain't gambling like that. If that wire kicks out, those wires kick out and it starts eating that the wood on that handle, it starts ripping that blue paint off, I won't be happy. I would definitely not be happy. Since there's no gapping on that. Okay. Back to the other pair. These do a better job letting light in. I think those are filtered and have blue light on them. And trying to work on this with the detail I need, I want every ounce of light I can get out of it. It'll be fun trying to get up in there because that doesn't pivot. Oh, this is definitely gonna get fun. Sorry about not talking. I get a little hyper fixated at times and I just stay more focused. So I kind of don't pay attention to the fact that I stopped talking and I'm not babbling. Oh, this is going to get shiny. So, started life looking like that one. They came out looking like that. But unfortunately, I did get the wheel close to this. So I think that's going to end up being shiny too. I had one a long time ago. And with the amount of stuff I work on usually at one time, that the battery doesn't last long enough. You would think with today's tech and how LiPo batteries operate, especially old tech like that big 1/5 scale truck and the LiPo batteries in that's got crazy long runtime. But batteries for today are far better than what the old 4 and 6S batteries are for that old truck. Yet they can't put them in the into half the equipment. I wear these batteries out. These are 5 amp hour batteries. Yeah, now that I see this side, I think the whole thing just needs to be tidied up. You'd be able to read it. Ooh, I got an idea. I got an idea. I got an idea. Ha ha ha. Squirrels are running loose. Oh, goodness. That's still screaming hot. If I can get the arm cleaned up and shiny, give it its normal bath, why can't I blue it? Give it a little contrast. Ah, Jimmy Neutron. Oh my gosh. I had no idea who Jimmy Neutron was when it was popular. My nephews, they were obviously much little, and when I talked to them on the phone halfway, 3/4 way across the country, they would talk about it, and for the first couple weeks, I could BS my way through it. I was able to BS my way through it, but then all of a sudden, I realized it isn't going to take long, and they're going to realize I had never seen an episode. I didn't have a clue what they were talking about. So I sat down and watched it, and I got caught up in it. And oh yeah, I still randomly throw it on there, like I do with Star Blazers. Uh, I also up on, I think it's the Roku channel. I think is what it is. Is I'm watching the original Adventure or Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. Uh, but if I really need old school classic cartoons, I got all of them across Mosfeta, Southern Cross, um, the American side, which is Macross Plus, or sorry, Japanese with Macross Plus, Macross Zero. Then I have everything that was blended together to make Robotech series. I have all the original, not the revamped, but the original Star Blazers. Um, I got all that down on DVD. I could probably hook a DVD player up here. If I thought it would last more than a month with all the dust and dirt and crud I kick up. Yeah, it's funny. Here I am, geez, 20 some years old, trying to BS my way through phone calls. I got watching it. I liked it. And I said, oh, I got to watch this. I think this handle will look good blued, or not the handle, but the main arm. I think it doesn't have to be a deep blue; it just has to be enough to. Oh, I put all those wrenches away. I did a wrench where it give it that nice uh, dark steel color. It wasn't a true blue like the bike wrench I did. Just a nice steel color. I think that would look good on this. This rust is a mess, and unfortunately, somebody put something over it to entomb the rust. Because when I just knocked it off, uh, you can flat see it. Somebody tried to encapsulate the rust inside it. It's going to do nothing but over time, if there was any moisture in there, it'll just eat and pit it out. And I'd hate to see that happen. Oops, sorry, wrong direction. So it's starting to shine up, and that's where it says handyman. But I think this being blued will be pretty cool. Hey Don, how's it going? I guess somebody thought when they did that to this, they thought entombing the rust as is would be a good idea to preserve it. Now, so somebody, I don't know, they put spray lacquer or whatever over the metal here, but they encased it. They made a mess. Well, my work week was a little chaotic. Wasn't too bad because I got a lot of stuff fixed. It's off the books. I don't have to worry about it no more. But we did not know that we had a problem with our AC system because we really haven't used it nor used the heater much. Because even with the very low temperatures, the house did not shift temperatures too much. But we found out today, got to replace the entire AC system. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be expensive. But hopefully, when we get put in there, will last. But it's far better technology. Geez. Trying to think timeline wise. So your basic compressor, outside compressor assembly, that technology has been around over 50 years. Really hasn't evolved into anything better than what it is. The system we're looking at no longer requires an assortment of step down transformers to operate different parts. You don't have to have a bunch of big bulky relays. It's a digital system that is only going to require 2 wires between the controller, the unit, and the outside. Supposed to have some. Its rating is supposed to be just under what geothermal technology is, as far as the whatever that rating is. Can't remember offhand. So it's supposed to be good. We'll find out. Yep, nope. That's not going to work. I shined it up, and the Stanley Handyman is legible now, but whatever lacquer they put on that, it's not eating through it. Oh, I took it out. Yeah, it's just not eating through. I get the lacquer and the rust off it, make it look better. What I'm going to end up doing, I hope I don't scrub too hard, is I'm going to use some Barkeeper's Friend, just lightly, try to get some of the crud and grime off the wood pieces, and then play it by ear from that point. Because if it does that, if it gets the grime and caked on crud off it, but doesn't eat the paint up too bad, so if I'm careful with it, it will work. It might make the blue a little better looking. Funny how the wire cup wheel couldn't do anything to this. It wouldn't get through that lacquer or varnish, whatever they put on it. But this little plastic one goes right through it, no problem. Okay. It's getting there. Get the crud off it, get all the way down to raw metal. The Stanley Handyman is looking good. It says number H120 or 1253. This is going to be fun. Yeah, I'm not dismantling that. Clean it as is, lube it up. Works good. Guess what? It's missing the jaws. No biggie. I'll get the rest of it all tidied up. I could find the jaw assembly for it. Never did look down in there. I thought it was retracted in. I thought they were open and just tucked in and gumped up. No biggie. Like I said, I can find a inset for that. Oh yeah, nope. That's still screaming hot. That'll probably be screaming hot for the next 2 hours. I don't even know what the temperature was today. No, it wasn't bad. It was probably in the 40s, maybe 50. Not looking forward to the 80s that they're talking about. I know one thing, the handle still moves very, very freely. I'm having fun trying to keep this stable. There's a little bit of pitting from this rust being trapped, but not a lot, which is a good thing. Less work to make it work right. But if I blew it, as long as it's clean and the crud's out of it, it'll be all right. You won't see it. Yeah, let me get a little bit more of this. Okay. Wrong ones. There we go. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Old bit brace. Getting all the rust and crud off it. Already got all the rust and crud out of up here. Did not impact the wood, which is the original bluing, and red, the red paint on this ring. No. I've been kind of busy with stuff. I know George has too. And believe it or not, everything going on this week, I didn't even think to reach out to see if we were gonna try to do something this weekend. But I know the following Saturday, it'll probably be daytime. It won't be 9 p.m. So the following Saturday, working on the timeline because there's a 5-6 hour difference now. So it could be between 3 and 5 p.m. on Saturday. Me and somebody else on the other side of the pond, we're going to try to do something live about tools from here, tools from over on that side, which will be fun. And if you watch this person, then you might actually, theoretically, this will be the first time that he gets on camera. So it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's getting some more pitting. It's getting deeper up in here. You guys probably couldn't see it even if you were close to it, but I can see the holes because of trying to clean. I can see the little tiny pockets that may have rust in it. And as nitpicky as my squirrels get, yeah, they definitely sticks out like a sore thumb to me. I see stuff like this all the time in thrift stores or indoor flea markets where people set up. Yeah, I need to take a break from this. Where people set up cubicles, I guess you want to say it. Then they have their tags with their little location number inside the said facility. Daggone it. They just took off, ran out the door. So yeah, they have those little cubicle areas where they have their little tags or stickers on a product with a price, but it has their little code or digit. So when they go up front to the cashier, they know who to enter and who gets paid for which product out of which stall. I see a lot of people for the last 5 years maybe, they're putting lacquer on rust and saying it's old, it's vintage. Or I even seen 2 of them that used the nasty P word, and unfortunately, my wife had to listen to me fuss and gripe about it. It's, uh, sealing rust is not patina. Patina is the natural discoloration of metal without rust. Um, that's the difference, but oh, kind of in the middle on the west middle by the mountains. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Have you emailed me before, Rob? See, I've been so busy and everything's been such a mess. Plus, losing the AC and all that. I thought so. I couldn't remember. Let's do this because for the most part, come on, computer, you can do it. Well, I wouldn't blame the computer. I'd blame the servers I'm trying to reach out to hit. Not the best servers. Okay, well, I tell you what, my wife had a custom uh, coffee cup made for me. And I filled it up over an hour ago, and it's still screaming hot, trying to peel the top layer of my tongue off. Okay. Let me jump over there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, because that was about that little perfect handle. I have one that's pretty much the same size. Oh, it'd help if I learned to type. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Do that. Come back to this. Email sent. Well, I've liked Star Wars since day one, and I'm not saying that Fett was one of my favorites, but I've had this for over 20 years. Color's long faded because of playing in the sun. Needs to be refreshed. I just heard some deep rumbling. Not thunder kind of deep rumbling. Heavy vehicle type deep rumbling. No, I can see planes out in the distance. Lots of stars. No headlights, marker lights, or anything. As dark as it gets here, any vehicle casts huge glows, and the cameras will snatch that light in a heartbeat. Oh, this could be fun. So now I got to try to get to the top side without damaging it. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I accidentally hit that at speed, bumped the wood. Didn't dent it, damage it, but I heard it. Oh, yep, nope. Those got to go. You talking the four-legged ones? We have rabbits that hang out here. We have fox that come and den up in the backyard every year. Lots of deer. Every couple of months, we get the random black bear that roams through the yard. Possums, raccoons, squirrels, ton of birds, all year round. All three types of woodpeckers. We get all three types of hummingbirds that are native. Oh no! Oh no 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 no! Not out here. Yeah, clean them up. They got a little credit from this stuff. Yeah, I don't have that problem out here. It's well known throughout the county and surrounding counties that you come play in this county, be prepared. We've had a handful of people in the last 9 years come up to one. My wife thinks that they were trying to case the place as, you know, door-to-door salesmen, but no, there's just too much noise going on. If you know what I mean by noise, too many people in the surrounding few miles. You'll hear it in the morning, you'll hear it in the evening, you'll hear it in the daytime, you'll hear them even after dark. I don't think anybody's stupid enough to go playing around and try to get out on some of these properties. They got a bunch of cameras. They tattle. Nice thing about living out here where you got a lot of cows, horses, and other animals like that, and farms. There isn't a whole lot of places for people to just pull off without getting caught. When people pull off and stop, a lot of people know about it for the simple fact that they don't belong. And if they don't belong, people are aware of it. Well, it's slowly getting there, but yeah, got pitting in a lot of spots. We'll get there. Oh, I got friends up in town, up in town. They've got their phone and their watch beeps all the time for people that get too close to their houses, because in town, geez, there's so many people that are that think being a porch pirate is a full-time job. Hell, half of them that would try to be a porch pirate would probably get lost out in this area. My buddy came out with his telescope. That was one of the first things that he said, is he almost got lost trying to get out here. I did what in the summertime? Uh, in the summertime, it's noisier sound level wise out here than it is in the city. The only difference, it's a peaceful noise, even though it's loud, and that's because it's nothing but animals, bugs, and everything else. It's not man-made noise; it's natural noise, but it gets loud out here. In the wintertime, not so much, because there's not so many critters and bugs running around. But it comes springtime, when the fox come into the backyard to den up, to have their have the kits. Shortly after that, oh, it gets loud, because they get very, very playful. And when they find their voice, oh, they're just screeching up a storm. And it's, hey, Don, I kind of figured that with the knowledge of what you post. I kind of figured that much. Oh, this is not good here. I am not getting the angle I need. We're going to have to break the noisy cricket out. Or, sorry, the noisy cricket. Screaming mosquito. Whatever I called it. Oh. Oops. Let's do this. We got dogs that if anybody, and my driveway is about a quarter mile long, vehicles don't get 100 feet up on the driveway, and the dogs are already barking and raising Cain because they can hear the gravel. Ooh, this is fun. This thing the handles are so fluid, even though the rest of it's rusted up, and they're smooth. They don't have any grinding or anything in there. So trying to hold it still without the handles moving around. Oh goodness, that is. Oh, I did it again. Okay. Let's see how bad I did. Well, we got one that is, and one he'll run into a glass door. He acts like he's 6 months old, and he's about 7 years old. I think when he hit the 6-month age, I think he's just stopped growing. Size wise, yes, but everything else, no. He'll still chase his tail. He acts like he's just a little puppy. Okay, I just see a little bit of crud down there. Nothing major. Nothing I get too excited about. And I don't want to mess with it. So that's as close to the red ring that I want to get. Like I said, on the handle side, it's close. It should right down in there. I'll probably just get some rag with some cleaner and try to dig just to get that out of there. The rest of it's close enough that if it blew it and all that, it'll be fine. The majority of the rust up in there is good. Then I'll hit it with wire cup, that thingy ding, to get rid of some of the crud that's hiding in the little bit of pitting in the dents. Then tidy this side, get that side cleaned up. Then I think I'll blue it first, and then I can just lightly knock the rust and corrosion off this side. I really don't want to dig too deep into this one, so I'll try to tidy it up the best I can. Yeah, I should be able to get enough of that. It's not in bad shape. It's in excellent condition. It really is. Thank you. It's getting there. Not up to where I'm happy yet, but it's getting there. Yep. Nope. That's still screaming hot. So Mountain Dew to the rescue. Last spring, we had so for the last 7-8 years, out in our backyard, we have a fox den that has uh, four openings in it. It's out in the wooded area. We don't mess with it. We watch them. So we think there's usually 2 or 3 kits per every season, and we think one of the kits turns around and uh, returns and reclaims that den the following year, because when they come in, they know where the openings are, they know where everything is. So we think that it's just become a generational thing that at least one of the kits come back uh, and dens up in there. Last year, we had 5. Um, that's the most we've had at running around. My beagle, she's just out there looking. They can get the fence will, or the wireless fence will get them within 3 feet of each other if need be. But they'll just sit there and they'll look at each other. They'll bounce around. They, she doesn't bark at them, and she's just like, "Oh, okay." She goes trots on her merry way and patrols the property. DuPont electric motor. Woo. The winding's still good. Still got a lot of attitude. I've been able to lightly crack the case to see how much debris and gunk and crud's caked up inside. You figure how many years of debris that's spooled up, plus all the powder of it spinning. Very nice. Man, that thing's got torque to it too. Doesn't have to have the RPMs like today's stuff. It's got torque. It freewheels. Due to that age, I bet when you flip that switch off, that bad boy takes 5 minutes to spool down, doesn't it? A couple years ago, we had an outdoor cat we kind of adopted, sort of, kind of ish, uh, and we heard some screeching, and it sounded like a wounded animal. Ran out on the back porch so we could get a high view down out in the tree lines, and the cat that we kind of took care of that stayed outside, uh, it was a cat and one of the fox kits a couple years ago. They were running around chasing each other, tumbling on each other, and screeching and running away. And then they were playing. That was a blast to see. But when we first heard that screeching, oh yeah, we were like, oh, something's going on. We got to find out what it is. Hey, how's it going? as easy as the plastic wheel's getting it, but the wire wheel isn't. I got a feeling that somebody used that black can of spray lacquer, because it goes on so thin and so light. It doesn't set in, doesn't create a nice tack, 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 hard coating. Like if you put real lacquer down. Which I think is why the little wire cup wheels on the Dremel wasn't doing it. But this is eating through it no problem and getting all that sealed in rust off. So handle looks good. I haven't touched this yet. But that's sealed in. Somebody sealed. That's why it's shiny. And that's all rust. Getting it out, untangling it. So looked like the bottom is starting to come together with the top. Just got a little bit more to deal with. Already got all the rusted crud off this piece. Then I got to polish it a little bit, do an alcohol wipe down like I always do. And then I think it's going to be play with the bluing and just blue the arms only. Now, probably be good if I looked to see where I missed. You see it's got dark spots. That's the dent stain in the pitting. Yeah, I think a wire wheel will get that, no problem. Get a little cleaner, a little wipe down. See how she's looking. See if this will get the crud out of the spots. Oh, I just missed a big old chunk. Got a big chunk right there. Everything else is looking good, except for right there. Okay, let's do it again. It's about nice thing about cleaning up and using one of these like LA Awesome or even that tub of towel stuff, that liquid, is when you hit it like this, give it a good wipe down, It'll definitely show you where you missed. But everything looks good. That's pitting down in the dents and dings. No obvious marks. So just for giggles, or as I used to say, till people couldn't figure it out, for those of us that are old enough, you know, good old S&Gs. Yeah, nope. The screaming mosquito is not going to be doing this one. Thank you. I just got to be careful because I don't want anything. I don't want any more damage to the blue. But I got to get that cleaned up, and then I've got to wait. I'll have to wrap it in a paper towel, in so it doesn't get debris on it. I'll have to wait till it warms up. So that way, I can actually put a coating on there that'll seal and lock it in and protect it, but I want it warm enough to where when it goes on, it stays nice and fluid. And it currently the temperatures would not work too well. Stanley handyman brace, getting the rust and crud off it. Gonna get somebody sealed active rust, I guess, to make it look like it's really old or some silliness. Then I'm gonna blue it, give it a good light bluing, so it gives it more of an industrial look. Oh, that was a little close. Oh, that was close. You saw the wheel spin, baby. Feel the wire bits flying off here. Ooh. Yeah, much better. All the crud's out of it. Everything inside's good. Little dents and dings. That'll clean up the dust and dirt will come out of that. That'll be nice. Oh, geez. Oh, wrong glasses. There we go. Oh. Whew. Get the wire bits before I get stuck with them. Oh. What was the first tool restoration? I have no clue, to be honest. I've done one or two, maybe. Maybe three. I don't know. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Yeah, I got. Yeah, this one ain't gonna be another midnight 1 o'clock jobby tonight. This might get put on pause for next week. Like I said, Munchkin's over, and she usually wakes up early because she wants her food. And then we gotta, obviously, I gotta go play with toys because that's what I do. When little one wants to play with toys, I go play with toys. Oh. Sorry, my squirrels went on vacation. They still haven't come back. You betcha. Opa is always up to playing with toys. I even got some in the shop. I had to get their pretend Transformers. So it's their little version of a Transformer, Frybox Transformer. But of course, can't say much because she's got about a dozen or so. She got a bunch of the turtles, whatever the boy bandy thing was that was out before it. Oh, I think I'm gonna try next. I'm gonna get a bunch of Happy Meals because I gotta get her a bunch of those little Crocs to play with. She'll probably try putting them on her dolls. Yeah, I think tonight's just going to be the tidy up part, and I think next week I will give it a late go over with the wire brush, and then alcohol bath and blue it, because it took a bit to make sure I could get in there and get this cleaned up and tidied up without damaging the wood. I still got to do this side. So let's see if I can make the bottom side look as nice as the top side. And then I gotta, yeah, I didn't even realize it. Then I gotta try to find the internals for it. I'm not 100% sure where this one came from. I don't know if I got it in the auction lot or this came out of that toolbox. If it came out of the toolbox, I got to go look and through all the other crud just in case the parts are in there. I think I want to tidy this side up before I attack this. That's my theoretical game plan that may or may not work. Who knows? 5 minutes from now, I might change my mind and go the other direction with something. Yep. Helps to plug it in. Magic, it got power. It's almost no. I think this is kind of yellow and caked. I got a feeling I know what they did over here that sealed this crud in. I think they used boiled linseed oil and it just dried and hardened. Because down here on this metal, which is different type of metal, it almost has that look like dried boiled linseed oil, or it gives it that kind of a hazy yellow finish. And when it's flaking off, yeah, it's coming. I think that's what it is, boiled linseed oil. It's just dried out and crusted. Because I can see the little tiny, it's not the wire bits that are coming off. I can see the little flakes and they're coming off in little tiny chunks of kind of yellow. It'd be nice if they had some quality boiled linseed oil. But this mess is probably something from a hardware store or Lowe's, Home Depot. It's not good quality linseed oil. If you get good linseed oil, it's not cheap, but you don't have the problems. It's never going to have a problem with like the stuff, the primary stuff. And I can't remember what country, because now like I said, my squirrels went on vacation. And now for the life of me, I cannot remember the country and the name of some of the top boiled linseed oil is. Cannot remember what it is. But it's some of the best out there. You don't have the problem with the hazing. You don't have the problem with if it gets near something hot or flame or anything that it tries to burn. Because I think the stuff we get has been thinned down by some chemicals, and that's what makes it flammable. I know a small container of, I got it written down on a piece of paper somewhere out here. So I was going to order a container of it, but I know it's going to take time to get here. And it costs about four and a half times as much as what we pay for the stuff over here. But it's high quality stuff. Doesn't look the same, doesn't smell the same. And I'm sure since it's not mass produced like that, nope, we're getting there. We're getting there. Definitely getting there. I like boiled linseed oil on, like axe handles, hammer handles. Just let it soak in and allow the wood to swell out a little bit. But I know that it smells and the stuff over here over time, especially if it ends up in contact with metal, it leaves that kind of a not quite that 20-some-year-old lazy boy, the handle snapped. I got a sealed that back together. I just got to get it back on the lazy boy. But it does. Yep, those squirrels are long gone. Sorry about that. They're just they jailbroke. They took off. They may not come back. Got a rattle in that too. We had debris up in there. It is so much fun trying to work that fine line right down to the edge of the wood without tearing up the wood. Woo. That's starting to get better. The good thing is I don't see any marks where I whacked into the wood. That's always a good thing. Now to switch back, so I need to have a little attitude. Snag my steel wool. Fumble. Yes. Depends on whether I'm using one of these wheels or the little bristles, the cups, or the plastic ones. And it's usually somewhere between 3 and 7. Depends on the manufacturer of said wire wheels. Sometimes if I get too fast, it turns me into a pin cushion, then I end up with wire bits I'm picking out of my clothes. Sometimes, and it depends on the metal and what crud I'm trying to take off, because sometimes if you go too fast, you can end up wearing some spots into it. I guess it's one of those kind of play by ear. If you've seen any of my videos, then you'll see that I'll start, and then all of a sudden I'll be doing something. All of a sudden I reach up and kick it up a little bit more. I may kick it down. So yeah, it's kind of a fly by the seat of your pants and a feel to just what you're doing. And now the little angry mosquito, I let that bad boy rip at full speed at 5. I think it's like 20,000 RPM or something like that. Not as strong as this one. But this whole beastie is about 30, 35 years old. This has more torque to it. So if I get in and start scrubbing, which I shouldn't have done because I think I broke a couple of these tines already, is it'll just keep digging. The small one, it'll do its thermal shut off and lock up. There are other colors, and like the green one, that's super supposed to be, so it's light green, light purple, light blue, kind of a red, a dark blue, and then the green. The green's the most aggressive, and then it gets, the grit is easier up to the light green. Depending upon the metals I work with, also depends on the speed and which one of the colors I go after. Usually when I'm dealing with just raw steel, wrenches, sockets on the initial, or like this, I go after the green or the dark blue because it'll blast a lot of stuff. If I want to soften everything up, then I'll go into the purple or the light purple, and light green, and it'll kind of level things out. Being that I'm bluing this, I'm not going to go in to try to chase down a hot polish on this. So it does have some little micro grooves in it, I guess you could call it, because of the more aggressive blade. But if I hit it with one of the softer ones, it'll thin it out and it'll produce a better shine. But this is going to get blued, so the blue, you don't have to have a high shine for blue. When it comes out, it'll still look really nice. Don't know if that helped or made it even worse. And if you work with the grain long enough, it will get rid of some small dents. Small dents and dings, because it is taking some of the metal if you work it long enough. So let's go right here on the bend. Might not be able to see it, but so there's some minor imperfections, even though it is shiny. We can step up. Let's just skip one. Go to red. And it's shinier. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where it's shinier, it's smoother. If it shows, you get a more reflection in it. I've used that. I've gone through the scales when I needed to put a nice high shine on something that was not going to be blued. Then we go after the light green. And then a whole lot of, whoops, a whole lot more shine. So it'll smoothen it out. Depending on which one you use, you can also or the pattern that you use, you can also take it and give it a shine, but also a light satin finish, which on quite a few tools actually looks pretty good because that satin finish hides dense dings and imperfections. But since I want to blue this and I don't want to get rid of, well, I kind of did in that little pocket there, but I didn't want to keep working it to where I smoothed out all the dense dings in out of it because of its age, the fact that the wood is in good order, the sticker is. I want to keep some of the dents and dings in it because it's kind of its history, it's its story, what it's been through. But yeah, somebody sealing in raw rust the way they did, that's not cool. That's just trying to be nice here. So I'm gonna say it, and I'm probably gonna offend some people, but that's life. That's neglect. That's abuse. And they shouldn't be trying to sell tools that way. Because if you seal raw rust in and you knock that little layer off and then it's just powdered rust underneath it, that's not patina. That's abuse. That's neglect. And then you tried to seal it to make it look old. Shame on you. Sorry. Back on my high horse. That's one of my little pet peeves. Metal with patina in natural aging is great. When it's neglect and abuse, that gets covered. No. And the more I see what I'm digging out, I am definitely thinking that somebody had put either a spray lacquer on that was junk because it yellowed, or somebody put poured linseed oil on it. It dried out and give it that yellow crust look on it because it's not quality linseed oil. But my vision for this is to protect the handle, the sticker, the tail handle. Tidy the metal up, give a little bluing, not a whole lot. Hopefully it doesn't darken too much. Even if it does, it'll be all right. But I want to give it that light bluing that it gives it that kind of borderline dark titanium industrial look. I think that would go good with this old blue from these handles. I know I just called it old blue, but I think the blue and the handyman, I don't remember what decade that was from. I know it ain't. I know it's not super old. It probably from the 60s, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah. So what? Oh my gosh. It's that goofy can. Bullseye shellac. That was notorious for also when it cured and started to age. That bullseye shellac, I forgot about that. That's notorious for giving it that yellow crusty look. I had forgot all about that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I pictured the container. Um, I used it once on a project that I did when I was a kid, and my grandfather shook his head. He let me learn my lesson the hard way. Then I got to take it all back down, and then he give me. Yeah, I think that's something with grandpas from that generation. He give me shellac to use, but it was in a mason jar. So I had no idea what the company was or anything like that. But that was on a project I did for the Cub Scouts or Weeblos. And after I got it all redone and I used what he gave me out of the mason jar, I had it for another 10 years or so, and it never discolored. But I do know that bullseye shellac, that has a penchant for turning yellow over time. I have to laugh because I'm in and out of these randomly in and out of the flea market or the indoor flea market things. And a lot of these wrenches, like these old style wrenches that I get for 50 cents, a dollar, 25 cents, or whatever. And to be honest, I don't know what I did with the two I just did. I just did them. Oh, they're wrapped up here. My video from earlier today. These, they'll leave grease, grime, rust, crust on them. And then, yeah, they'll either varnish them, lacquer them, or shellac them. And they got this horrible looking sheen to them that you know is artificial. It's not, like this, where this is natural metal and oil, but it has that funky sheen to it. And then they turn around with the rust, crust, and grease, and you can see that they sealed some clumps of grease and grime into it. And you ain't getting it off because by the time that stuff dries, it's crusty. And you look at it, and they want $15 or $20 for it because it's vintage. Well, hell, if you want to declare something vintage and worth a lot of money, then I guess that means I'm worth a ton of money because I am really vintage. Borderline an antique. I had a place that I got excited about because I found some really nice F wrenches. They were needing a lot of TLC, and I mean a lot, but they were workable. They were not, the jaws were not damaged. The jaws were not damaged. The pins, my brain's not working. The brain stopped braining. Fudge. Rivets. Rivets where you just peen them over. That's where I was heading with that. They weren't loose, so it wasn't gonna. You didn't have to do a lot with those, but everything else would have been cleaned up. The wood could have been sanded, stripped down, dialed in, restained, and it would have been really nice. But they wanted $25 to $35 for them in the rough shape that they were in. I was like, yeah, no, not happening. Because I grabbed 3 of them, took them up front, and asked them how much they were since they didn't have any tags to them. They asked where I got it from. I told them. So they called the person. And when they told me the prices, they knew I was not impressed. And I was like, yep, nope, I'll put them back. When I double checked, I made sure the grease and grime didn't have a silhouette of Elvis or something on it. Figured that might be why they want so much. Get a little bit of thing-a-dinger. Exactly. And just because, and so many people think that because that rust is patina, but rust is not patina. Natural aging of metals, the natural discoloration of metals, that's patina. I've had people leave comments. Oh, missed a whole spot there. Jeez. Okay. I got to put the other glasses back on because I can't believe I missed that. Wow. That's a huge miss. Nope, that'll work. That will work. Just got to clean the top side, try to get all the gram off this. That will work. Well, yeah, they do to a point. But the other point too is they wouldn't have got themselves into. Sorry, I didn't realize how far off the screen I was. They don't realize, a lot of them, what happens is they don't pay attention to what the vendors are selling as far as how high they're trying to command prices. So with that, they're not selling products out of their stalls because people aren't going to pay these stupid prices that they think they're going to get out of it. And because the vendors don't come in but once in a blue moon, like when they get told, hey, we sold half of your stuff, so resupply. Stuff sits and sits and sits. There's one about an hour and a half away that we've been in probably 6-7 times in the last 10 years. And there's stalls that probably still have 80-85% of the stuff we saw 9-10 years ago is still sitting in there, commanding the same price. Hey, how you doing? So yeah, then you got, they got to pay some people to wander around there, operate the tills, and obviously keep the lights on. So then the vendors got to pay to have their stalls. There's one we just recently went to within the last 6 months. Prices they want, I might buy one thing. I could spend 12 hours in that whole place, and I might buy one little tiny thing because the prices are too high. And they got at least a dozen or so people wandering around. There's another one we used to go to all the time, but it was the same stuff every single time we went in there. And that was on, when you go in, it was to the right half was the same stuff all the time. It's like stock never moved. But the center and left side, they couldn't keep vendors there. Because, when you go in to one of the little flea market-y antique mall things, you kind of get used to seeing certain vendors. You know where you're at in there, and you know if you're interested in a certain product, you know exactly where to trek to because you remember seeing it there. Oh, I want this for the house because it's kind of old country country kitchen type stuff, and then you know where to track and go chase it. But there's one, like I said, center and to left. You go in there, say at the beginning of July. By August 1st, you go back in there, and a third or more of the vendors that were on that left side, they're gone. Somebody else has moved in. There's one I go to out of state, and I get there about 2-3 times a year if I'm lucky. And that is one where the guy, awesome, takes care of me. That's where I get a lot of wrenches and sockets at a really good price. Is in the last 6 years, I've watched that flea market antique mall place turn into an overgrown junk store. And I don't mean a Spencer's. I mean, for those of us old enough to remember the malls, everything's a dollar type junk store. It's like they buy a cargo ship full of junk from overseas that people give away or sell at, or like they give away at fairs, and they're trying to sell all that stuff, or residual, uh, like containers of soap, shampoos, stuff like that. They bought it in bulk and it wasn't high quality to begin with. I mean, oh, sorry. I saw a vendor down there that had containers of Prel shampoo. I haven't seen Prel shampoo since the 80s. I didn't know it still existed. Yeah, when I looked up and I saw that green container that looked like old dish soap, and then I was like, oh my gosh. I recognize Prel. I should have got a picture of it, but and then you go and look at other stalls as you're walking through that one place. That okay, there we go. That it's trying to be nice. It's junk that even a elementary school's fun fair wouldn't even give that stuff away, and they're trying to sell it. Hey, how's it going? Come on. Well, it's starting to get better down on the bottom side. At least the knurling looks good. I think the bottom side right here is going to stay silver. I'll just give it that light blue up on the main bars. That's it. I think everything else is going to get just a light coat of oil to protect the metal, but still be silver. I think that's the game plan. Uh, then I said I got to be very careful with the wood and that handyman sticker. But I'm thinking, yeah, I think that this handyman series was from the 60s, I think. Don't quote me on it. I think I remember hearing or seeing something that said it was around the 60s. It's not leaving residue in there, so that's good. But yeah, to get it from that yellow funk to that, it's going to take some work. I was worried it was going to get all grimy and get nasty up in the. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I really never paid attention to handyman until either Dale or Bill. Uh, they had some handyman stuff, or it could have been David. Don't remember. Or the possibility is a little bit of all three. That I remember seeing that stuff on there, and I really never paid attention to it before. Learned a lot in the last year for sure. There's probably another 20 or 30 companies that I overlooked and skipped because I didn't know what they were or anything, that now I could see them and snatch and grabs. Oh, yep, nope, mine, got to have it. Like the one I did yesterday that Brandon sent me, that was completely rusted over. Inside, outside, everything is completely rusted. It looked like it was just a basic no name, but when I started cleaning, I uncovered the Diamond W, so I knew what it was. When I got to the other side, I carefully uncovered the J.H. Williams stamping. And yeah, that was an awesome addition. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Now it's getting into the part that's not so much fun. Getting to the internals of the U. Can't get the tool in there where I want it. Have to change bits. Yeah, I can't get the tool in there where I want it, so it's... Oh, wow. Never seen one of those. This is a bit brace. I have quite a few of them. Some that are from the couple of the other ones I have were my great grandfather's. So that would have put those bit braces late 1800s, early 1900s. This one I think is from the 1960s because it's in that Stanley handyman line. But yeah, that plumb bob, I've never seen one. All the plumb bobs that I've seen got I can say I've never seen one like that. Need the flashlight. Oh no, that's clean. There's nothing that. No, whoop. I lied. Just a little bit of gunk. Not a lot. Just. I found a solid brass one earlier last year out on the road. I was at work turning 2-lane each way to a 4-lane each way, and I was taking a big sweeping turn. And I'm always keeping my eyes peeled, whether it's for cars, idiots on bikes, all that. But I also scan the roadways, and the one I found is about that tall. And I kind of tidied it up, got the big dents and dings out of it, got it look good. But it is the heaviest one I have so far, because most of the ones I got, they're just little short, fat ones. They look like oversized tops. This one is very, very tall, very long. Actually, you know what? Hold that thought. Let me go over here. See where it's at. I didn't want to get too crazy getting the dents and dings out of it, but I did at least tidy it up some. But yeah, I found that on the road. Oh, so yeah, this one, that's a heavy little monster. I got everything all nice and tidied up. I can restring it if I need to. Oh, so this plumb bob is definitely the heaviest one I got so far. And I found it, like I said, it had string and that was nasty and dirty in it. I took it apart, threw that away. I'll put some new line on it at some point in time. I lightly worked some of the major dents out of it because whatever vehicle it tumbled off of, oh yeah, it tumbled. I got around the corner and I saw it as I was going around that big sweeping corner. Happened to look to the left. I saw it on the ground. Went up, U-turn, came back, pulled in the turn lane, hit the strobe lights, jumped across the median, grabbed it, happened to jump back in the truck just as the turn light turned green, so I was able to go back the other way. Oh, yeah. This one is ratcheting. So I forgot about that. Oops. Now I gotta go back to where I was so I can make sure I don't leave any of the spots dealt with. Yeah, that's a good thing if it's going up because then recycling is good. But this kid ain't recycling any tools, no matter how much it's worth. Now, if I get a bunch of old wire that somebody, because somebody's tearing down a house, yeah, salvage the wiring out of it, strip the jacket off it, recycle it. Okay, that's a different story, but not a tool. I know these aren't a whole lot because I think these are currently still available. I think they still make this series. I can say I've used them quite a few times, but with that being said, I haven't used them in a long time either. With today's tools, if you know what you're doing, you can still make straight lines no matter how long it is. Um, crank it up. Timber. Okay, let's see how many I got. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 more. 3 more to go in there. This side, this crud, the back side. Get up in there. Then that will be getting closer. Oh, I bet that stair will last 1,000 years too. I got out of that box that I'm working on, there was a bunch of Starrett punches in it. The other Snap-on box that I almost went after, another guy went after it, and that was actually full of Starrett micrometers and assorted other gauges. It had the bottom 3 drawers were nothing but wood boxes full of Starrett tools. But the box I wanted was that one because that has 7 drawers in it, while the other one only had 5 drawers. I wasn't going after the tools because it had the pictures they put on the estate sale didn't show the tools that were actually in it. It showed just a few small tools. They were just old acetate handle tools and all that. There was a ton of Snap-on stuff in there. I'm in Proto. I'm still working a lot of the sockets that are coming out of that one. Instead of 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket, I'm down to 1/5 of a 5-gallon bucket now. So make progress there, but that box also not only produced that because that was 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket. That was nothing but Snap-on and Proto sockets. But the box also produced a ton of other tools that filled a 27-gallon HDX tote. I still got a lot to do on that one. I got some nice. Everybody knows them by different names. Some call them slam wrenches. Some call them basically. Some people call them slugger wrenches. I got a couple that are almost 1.5 inch, 7/16 and so forth. So I got a couple of them. But there's a ton of wrenches. Some nice old Williams and Bonnie's hiding in there. I got, I think, 1.5 Snap-on wrench out of it. between that and everything else I got running around here as far as a backlog, this kid's going to be busy for probably the rest of the year, just playing catch up. Damn, that is still screaming hot. Here it is 2.5 hours later. Yeah, I definitely was not expecting everything that came out of that box. Wanted the box to put, it had 7 drawers, so I said that's perfect for all these old wrenches that I've brought back to life, or old sockets that the companies are long gone. But I figured it was just going to have 90% junk, a handful of tools, clean it out, clean the box up, and then go from there. But I need another box. When I get that one done, that's probably going to end up just being that's probably going to be where big chunk of crud came out of that one. The 3/4, some of the other 1/2-inch impacts, some of the 1-inch drive sockets that came out of this thing. I think that box is going to end up being the bigger of the sockets and the bigger of the tools. Because, like I said, I got not 100% sure where I put it, but I got some big boy wrenches out of it. Pull this out of here. Here's 3 that I just pulled right off the top that still need to be cleaned up, but they were on top of that box. So I got a Craftsman double line B, 1.25 inches. Just it needs to be tidied up. Double snap on 1 3/8, 1.5. Needs a little TLC. Then obviously a snap on because that says OEX on it. 1.5 inch. Combination wrench. Won't take much to get the rust and crud off that. And I've got a couple of nice Williams. One is a spud style that is flat. Another is a spud style that's been shaped. But I think they both have, somebody took a stick welder and they put their initials on it. So they're 3-dimensional, they're elevated, which I'm not happy with. You like oddball items? Dale sent me a cool one. Anybody that's watched my sorry the earthquake, everybody knows that watches my stuff, they know I like my vessel tools. I like these because they're adjustable, but I prefer the round handle so I can put some attitude on it. Well, Dale sent me stuff. Here's a little, it's not vessel, it is made in Germany though. It's actually made in West Germany, but it has a selector, so yes, it is ratcheting. No idea what company though, but it's a little bit driver. It's ratcheting. And talk about oddball, but you want to? How about the classic as seen on TV from the 80s? The one and only Gator Grip. Used it once. Didn't like the fact that it was a pain to try to get it dead on lined up, because if it's connected to the nut or bolt and it's a little off, then you've got a lump out of rotation. That drives me nuts. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of uh, uh, I got a whole bunch of oddball stuff running around the shop. And I think it was just Garage Adventures. I think it was. And two other YouTubers recently within the last week brought up the Sidewinder ratchet. And what's so funny is I had just went through and just relubed the thing a couple weeks earlier, and then all of a sudden that thing started showing up on a handful of YouTubers' channels. It's like, wow, I thought I was the only one with that silly thing. Let me throw these wrenches back before they get misplaced. But the Sidewinder ratchet is a gimmick and a half. Goliath head on it. Absolutely massive head. It's only 3/8 drive. But it's got the T handle on the back. So you can manually loosen it up. The problem is the selector is socket side. So I guess you could get it to that certain point and then do something. I don't know. But the Sidewinder, yeah, that definitely falls into the heavy duty gimmick side. Wow, I haven't seen a Black & Decker auto tape in forever. But I do have the Black & Decker combination wrench where you just push the button and it opens and closes the jaw. I did find that, cleaned it up, got it working right. I did get that silliness. Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about, as seen on TV, tools, gimmick tools. They may or may not be functional or useful. They might be the one-off type tools. But if they work once and they solve the need that you have, then it was worth getting. But today's as seen on TV stuff is nowhere near as cool as the 80s as seen on TV stuff. Because those tools, they might be gimmicky, but they actually worked. Now, I hate to say it, but even Fiskars, as nice as their scissors are, their cutting implements are, they're not exempt from the gimmick tools. Because here is the Fiskars hand drill. With some of the bits. I got to put some silicone on the rubber band because the rubber band's going to dry out. But talk about another gimmick tool. It's plastic. There is no way this thing's going to be drilling a whole lot of holes. But when I saw this, it made me think of the old screwball. My dad had one. I loved playing with that thing. You know, hit the switch and ratchet, rotate around, kick the bit out, swap the bits out. That's right. They did have a copy of that. I forgot about it. I thought it was. Oh, trying to remember now. I thought it was orange. I thought it was kind of orange and blue. Oh, orange and yellow. Might have been kind of a red and yellow, orange and yellow. Yeah, that's it. My dad had one when I was a kid, and I loved it. Wasn't supposed to play with it, but you know, Okay, should be back. We got Munchkin this weekend. So my whole concept being out here trying to get stuff packed up and packaged to get shipped, it's getting delayed. But did I send you a picture of what came in? I don't know if I sent you the video of what finally came in. Oh, they're awesome. They are. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Close your eyes. I hope that wasn't in the camera. You ain't supposed to see that till it shows up. I didn't realize it was sitting right there in front of everything. I don't know anybody that works with tools or collects tools doesn't have a ton of gimmick tools. There's just something about them that finds their way home with those of us that work and play with tools. Just a little one, right? A little one, right? Well, all I gotta say is you have about 7, 8 months, and you better be ready to start playing on the floor. Munchkin's over, and I forgot how far the floor is away. The floor is that's a long way down to get to the floor, but she'll go over by where some toys are or something. She'll plop down, and then she pokes that finger right into the floor and gives me that look like, okay, time to play. She has her mother and her grandmother's sassy little attitude. And Junior hasn't arrived yet. I don't know what. I'm just wondering whether he thinks he's just going to come make a grand entrance. Yeah, this is one of those times I wish I was a little more vertically challenged. Especially since the knees don't work as good as they used to. Of course, when I was younger, I never thought I'd be this old. Yeah, when I was younger, I had no intentions of ever getting to this age. Surprise! Oh, too big. As a matter of fact, I had to. Oh, I was checking if the other one was on. I was looking to see if he popped in. He was sick last week, but he still popped in. Probably shouldn't have, not being sick. He had the creeping cruds at. That's why it was surprised me when I yeah, me and Rob had that discussion. And like I told him about a week last week, no, I'd probably still do the same stupid stuff I did back then, and I'd probably still be in the same condition I'm in now. Had too much fun doing what I did back then that caused me to be in the condition that I'm in now. Oop. Yeah, no, because it was still awesome jumping a 10 speed on the homemade dirt bike ramps that we made in the woods and breaking the frame. And as you're riding down the road and the bike is accordioning weld, it blew the welds out. And the only thing that was keeping it from total collapse was the chain. So you're riding and doing that because the frame was bouncing in and out where it blew the welds apart. I still would have done that. And I hate to say it, my wife has kind of warned me not to do the stupid stuff when the grandkids get a little older. But something tells me I'm still gonna do stupid stuff. Well, I have a Trek Team Issue 1. Oh, I have a Trek Team Issue 1 down in the basement. So I can't guarantee I can fly through the air like I used to. I guarantee I ain't gonna be ripping over any tabletops. But I could hit the jump once. I could land it once. Because I have the original spoke wheels for it, but I also have carbon fiber tri-spokes for it. No, I think that one, if I'm going to do that, it's going to be hold my whiskey. Because I hate to say it, I could be on a bike, I can ride the bike, I can get the bike up to speed, I could probably jump the bike, I could probably land the bike. I'm just not sure how much of a ramp I'm going to have to create to support the impact of me hitting it before I go airborne. You know? There's a lot of mass here that's got to hit that ramp before it can go up. I don't want it to be like when we were kids where we build these rickety halfway ramps where you'd hit it and then sometimes it would lift you and sometimes you just bulldoze through it. Okay, I got a spot there I do not like. Come on, goober. Ah, I missed that. That would be my fault. I screwed that up because I missed that completely. Well, I can tell you, the alcohol wouldn't be needed for me to do the stupid stuff, that stupid jump. The alcohol would be there for after I landed. Because I know when I came down that hit, I know what the knees and hips are going to be screaming at me. Oh, I will. It can't help it. Since I won't grow up. All right, Tay, be safe. Have a good night, Rob. Cool thing about these old tools is the way they designed them. Got a semi truck out on the road. Ooh. Funny thing is how far away that truck is. That truck's over a quarter mile away, but you can hear it. Oop, oop. That's another one. What I was saying about the tools, it's just the way they designed them. They last forever. But if you want to try to clean them up, good grief, and especially if you're trying to nitpick clean, you got 18.6 trillion little gaps to try to find and clear out. Oh, apparently I already took care of that side. Okay. Close enough. No, it actually look, other than still needing to work this and blue it, leave these rings the way they are. It came out really nice. Oh. Oh. There's another one. Forgot about this. I ain't wasting my time over here. Oh. Never did set that back up on this side. Whoop. Boom, boom, boom. For the Iron Maiden fans, Legacy of the Beast. I don't know what I hit, but something's changing. Hopefully I didn't oh. Okay. Tools are a problem. I don't know. Tools are worse than damn drugs. I hate to say it. It might cost more too. Okay. That's got to change. I had made a joke to somebody, I don't remember what it was, a couple months ago. I saw something similar. I just changed it to tools. Uh, Trying to remember exactly how I worded it. Half the stuff that comes out of my mouth surprises even me. I think it's when I was young, I was warned about doing drugs. It's expensive and something else. I just totally lost the whole thought. But nobody told me about tools. So I had to try to remember how I actually spit that out. Uh, say no to drugs. It's expensive. It'll eat up all your money. Nobody told me about tools. They didn't warn you about that back then. Because now one tool leads to a billion, and you still got to have more. Because that one's slightly different because it has a slightly different purpose. Well, you got to have it. For those that are of the younger generation that were into the Nintendo-y thing and Pokemon, well, that game, you had to catch them all. Well, tools, you got to buy them all. Okay, need a new rag. Need a little really awesome. Dribble it all over the floor. Well, I used to collect cards, baseball, football, hockey, sports and non-sports. I had an assortment. I had actually, I think I still do. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Star Wars. I had the Desert Storm cards from the 90s, wrestling cards, baseball, football, sorted stuff. Still play a lot of video games, but I never got into all the Pokemon series. I have played a couple of them we got the little Nintendo Switch, I think it is. I don't know. I don't play video games like I used to. I spend too much time out here trying to work on this mess. Okay, so all said and done. Inside that's looking pretty nice. Oops, I get my big paw out of the way. Inside's tidy. There's the outside of it. Definitely don't look the way it started. Definitely looks. Actually, you know what? I may have to see if there's any color pictures of this. This actually don't look too bad with the all shiny. Do I blue it or do I just make this look a little better? I still have some Lincoln Logs. I still have some fake Legos. There were different type. Because it was the space shuttle that glow in the dark. I also have some of my original 70s space Legos. I have 2 or 3 of the moon pads. One that still has some of the mountain and craters on it. Oh, I got probably 20,000 Lego pieces in the house. Uh, randomly play with them. When my grandson was over, we'd get in there and play. Uh, keeps your keeps your imagination, creativity flowing because you don't have instructions. You just take what you got and build something. I did the same thing with Lincoln Logs, did that, and I built little tiny garages to put my run my cars in and out of. With the Lincoln Logs I was playing with were the slightly older ones from the that was in the cardboard tin that had cardboard lid on it, not the metal drop-in lid or the plastic lid. It had the cardboard lid on it. I'm not sure how far back it was, but those were a blast. We actually found, I think we were northwest for, we found 2 big bags of new Lincoln Logs, and we were considering buying both bags for the price they were asking. It was worth it, but we were just gonna have to bring it home, let them sit for 5-6 years, then hopefully not forget where we put them. I remember Pogs. I have some. I have some of the. I had some for Star Wars, and I also had the ones from 7-Eleven Slurpees where you pulled the cardboard out from underneath the bottom of the cup, and it had a cardboard Pog on it. Lego prices have been high for about 25 years. Can't say I won't spend the money on them. My wife got me the big Yoda. I put that together. She got that for Christmas / birthday a couple years ago. I had a blast. I sat down. Ooh, hang on. There it is. That's all the shiny. Got to wear out of my shirt. I said, oh, nope. Guess what? There's another one. Goodness. Pin cushion. Okay, hopefully that's it, at least for now. I sat down and almost knocked that thing out the night that I opened it. So I probably knocked out 2/3 of it. Went to bed, got up the next day, sat right there and until I finished it. What I've done recently was I got my wife a couple of those flower arrangement Legos, and I put them together for her. Made her little bouquets. So put them in mason jars. And then that way flowers don't die; they just stay there forever. A lot of fun. You know what? What I think about this, what I think I'm going to leave it silver. It just, granted, I kind of had that idea about bluing it and thought that bluing would look nice, but the only thing about it is, as nice as the rest of this came out, like up in here, sorry, up in this piece, the adjustment cap, the base, the ratchet piece, and the chuck. I don't know. I think I might have to get this shiny. I think it'd be better shiny than have it blued and then have the silver around it. Uh, I've I created something, and I don't have the parts out here because I don't know what I took a basic mason jar, just a little one, little quart one. I found some fat yarn when I was walking around one of the hobby shops and she was looking at stuff. Found some fat yarn that kind of looked like dirt. So it had a little bit of different color, dark colors to it, but take a section of it and I coiled it up, just, pushed it down in the bottom of the mason jar, made it look like it was dirt. And then I got the little sets of flowers. I think I got cherry blossoms and daffodil, no, sunflowers, something like that. And then I did that, then made one for my wife. I'm halfway into making one for my stepdaughter, and I'm gonna make a third one that's gonna end up being for my granddaughter, and it'll sit up on a shelf in her room. Uh, there's just something about Legos. That, and I'm just an overgrown Toys R Us kid. Oh. Yeah, another type of fiber wheel. These end up these can leave marks if you're not careful, and if it's a soft metal, it'll eat right into them. But they do a real good job. If your Dremel is running at a pretty good speed, it will tidy up some of the imperfections in the metal. So definitely don't leave it in one spot too long. And as you saw, it hit my finger and it just puffed up. Because hit my finger, it'll explode and send the material all over the place. Ah. So that's where needs to be worked. This is the side that I hit with that puffball, that fiber puffball. Tidies up the small imperfections very well. So I think I'm gonna work this side. This is a little more aggressive, and I could fine tune it and possibly give it a satin finish if I hit it with this one. Now, the part I got to be very careful with, I'm getting close to that red, excuse me, I'm getting close to that red ring. And since I went in the edges and created a angle, I got to get, uh, gotta change. I gotta get either a newer one or Yeah, I'll just use this one. Yeah. Because I don't want to accidentally buff and knock off that red paint, because that's factory that's factory red. Mm. Okay, that will work. You have any handy Andy toolkits? I have one. I do not have the kits, but I have a pretty well battered box. And that is hiding up there, I think. Except son had one running around the inside of the back of his car with assorted tools in it. I swapped him a couple of DeWalt drill bags to get the metal box. It's pretty roached. It's rusted. It's dented. It's twisted. It's a mess. Good chunk of the finish is still the paint. Paint scheme is blown off, but it was still pretty cool. There we go. 3.5 hours later, now it's finally at a temperature is drinkable and it's not burning my tongue off. Got too many wire bits on the table here, plus all the gunk and grime. So anybody that hasn't seen me do it before, dirty trick to clean up wire bits. Easy way to clean up a good chunk of the wire bits. Not only are you cleaning your table up or your work surface, your silicone mat up, but most of the wire bits will stick to the wet rag. So I guess you could say kill two birds with one stone. Clean the crud off the silicone mat and get rid of all the wire bits. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna say close enough. I don't think I want to blow it. Believe it or not. Oh, geez. I think I'm gonna leave it. I think I'm gonna leave the steel the way it is. I think it looks good that way. Because I just got to tidy up the wood handles. I think that's about all I'm going to do. Because we got all the rust out of there everywhere else. And yeah, because I did kind of give it a soft satin finish to it. It's not going to show. It's going to help blend in the imperfections and age of the metal, but nice and well. Yeah, they would focus. There we go. So that's the best part. Now to contend with this little bit of wood. Just a little bit of that and it'll be all right. Wow, woodworking kit with the wood box. I've seen some in videos, but I've never actually seen one in person. The only ones I've seen are the metal boxes. So I guess they were kind of the universal home user tool sets. I think they had like hammers, screwdrivers, and stuff like that in it. So rub some salt in that wound. I am not paying $250 for a can of S.C. Johnson's paste wax. Not happening. When I had, it was 2023, and I had no idea that S.C. Johnson stopped doing the yellow can of wax back in 2019, I think it was. I had no idea that they got rid of it. And now you try to find any online. Yeah, you might want to have EMTs by with a crash cart because you're gonna have a heart attack when you see what people are trying to sell full cans of that for. I think the last time I saw it, it was like 240, 242 for a can. So after taxes, basically $250. Oh, so it ain't worth that. But I'm gonna give a light clean on this, and then wipe it down. I have woodworking wax, so I got that. Use it on some woods. Well, it's still cold, so it's solid. It's what I also put on the saw decks, joiner decks, so the wood slides across fairly easy. Got to be careful though, because once you put the tray wax on, you can just go almost good enough to use on a carom board and just. Oh. Well, the only problem with the wood, how it is, I'm not getting rid of the paint, but I'm getting the grease and grime and crud from years of hands and toolboxes off of it. So I want to try to carefully clean it, but not remove much of it. That way I can turn around and put some of the wax on it after the grease and grime is removed off of it. It should, I'm not putting wax over gunk and crud. That's what I don't want to do. I don't want to do what the person did with this and put a coat over rust and have something happen internally. So it'll be time to waste a lot of blue paper towels. No tub of towels. I hate to say it. I got your tub of towels. Not impressed. I don't know if I cleaned up that Phillips head snap-on that I had found on the road, or I just did it after I had cleaned it. I think it was a short. I'd used the tub of towels on that snap-on instinct handle that was just nasty as can be, and it just barely thinned out the crud. But I used LA Awesome on a rag, and it cleaned that snap-on screwdriver, that instinct handle, back to almost new condition. So my first go around with tub of towels, I'm not impressed. And having that stuff on a rag, you got the friction of the rag that does probably the most of the cleaning. Because with the what I used was just this, so there's not a whole lot of friction to these blue towels, and it did a far better job. I got to go be careful with this because I don't want it to. You want to go light and easy on it. You see just a little bit of dirt and grime, but you're not seeing the blue come off it. And that is the key, is just get the dirt, grease, grime, and crud off it, but not affect the color. At least try not to. So it still has its, as you see, the blue got a little more shine to it again, which it did not have here. Got a little more shine to it. I think it's because it gets some of the crud off. Now the part that I didn't want to deal with and I don't really want to deal with, that's what I'm worried about, is that handyman sticker. I have gone over stickers before with this stuff and not damaged it, but I've also gone over stickers before too and ate right through the sticker in a heartbeat. Okay. There's some of the crud that was on it. Try to get the edging. Let it dry. But the blue has more of an original, and the sticker is still intact. The sticker actually is a little bit more legible than it was before too. So, like I said, still shows the wear and tear, but the blue looks better. Got a nice, better color blue. Yeah, if it wasn't for that sticker, and I would have probably sanded the wood down, and then give it a restained it and put my own color stain on it. Could have put a mocha on it, red mahogany. Hell, I even got a little Cabot mahogany flame. That probably would have been interesting too. But that handyman sticker right there is the only reason why I'm trying to protect the paint. If not, it would just been, And who knows? I may have, with the wood grain in there, I may have torched the grain, then still wooled it, and then stained it to just make the grain pop a little more fancier. Give that a minute to dry and calm down. And we can slap a little bit of that on there. It'll be good. Okay, let me get back here. Click on that. Oh goodness, it's already 1 o'clock. Oh. Yeah, that's what happens when I get caught up cleaning something. Sometimes I get a little get a wire bit. I get a little too into it. I did not plan on being up this late because I just wanted to tidy it up. But one thing led to another, and it definitely looks far better than it did when I started this. Yeah, I can't go to bed yet. Opal's got work to do. He's got to put some wax on it, but still got a couple minutes to let that stuff calm down. Probably enough to finish some of it. Moving stuff around. There's another, it's an old tack hammer. Still got the original sticker on it. This is my grandfather, so I got he found it, never worked on it, but unfortunately at some point in time in the past, somebody didn't put a proper wedge in and they slapped 2 screws into it just to kind of hold it. That's going to be a long project to deal with. I got old steel body Black & Decker jigsaw. And a little Black & Decker VSR. Still has the nameplate, even though most of the nameplate's been worn away. Those would be fun projects to clean up, but not anytime soon. Got a couple hammers. They're definitely old. No names on them, but you can tell their age because of the way the head design is. But they're in great shape. Don't wobble or nothing. Make sure I don't have any dust or crud on my hands. Oh, yep. That's what I thought. It's like wire. Oh, I felt it. I'll find it later. That's what I thought. Hard as a brick because of it dropping low enough to get snow last night. But the nice thing is it does not take much heat to soften it up. Trying to be careful because of its age. I don't want to accidentally scrub too hard putting this on and taking the paint along with it. Not that I've done that, but you know, I had a friend, he's about so tall, about so wide. Used to have hair at one point in time. Cool. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't realize I was punching the mic with the top piece. And not knowing the last time that this handle or any of this has had anything that could potentially put moisture back into it. And we'll be very liberal with the wax. Let it soak in. Let it soak in the best it can. Oh. No, I don't sell any tools. No, once they come in my possession, for the most part, that's where they stay forever. Oh, the part I'm dreading. The part I am dreading. That's because I am right here on the sticker and I did not ruin it. Hot dog. I was worried I was going to accidentally do something, hitting it with the wax, and I was going to push too hard, or I was going to do something, I was going to tear up that sticker. I'm going to let this stuff sit overnight and soak in and ooze up on it. Might give it another coat tomorrow. May just give it a nice wipe. But in the grand scheme of the planet, I think this little project is done. I said, let the wax do its thing. Then I can just give it a light wipe in the morning. I don't want it. I want it to. If it'll help with the wood, not knowing how dry that wood is, I'd rather just let it soak up what it can. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. Oops. Time to tear up the drink. All right. Yep. I have a brand new microfiber cloth that is. It's softer than most microfibers. I don't know where I acquired those from, but they're almost as good as a 60s or 70s handkerchief as far as how soft they are. That's what my grandfather used when I was a kid, was handkerchiefs from back in that timeline. And those were mega soft, and they did not uh, pull any materials off. That's like staining. Unless I'm doing large scale items, like fences, 6x6 posts, 8x8 posts, and that stuff, I don't stain with a brush, not at all. It gets a rag and hand rubbed into the wood, and then I'll do 3 or 4 treatments of that. I think that's why the wood, when I play with wood, that's why it comes out as nice as it does. I swear, brushes miss things and they just don't leave it clean. All right, Tay. Have a good night. Actually, I think I'm going to wrap up too, because I was only supposed to be on for about an hour or two. I really didn't plan on getting that involved into it, but that's what happens. My squirrels get loose, then they start doing things. The next thing you know is a light cleanup turns into that. So everybody have a good night. And as always, be safe and good luck in the hunt. You never know what you'll find. Have a good one.